All right. Wow. Okay. Mwah. I hope you're feeling well today. And um, I had some thoughts that I was like, another day. But here, they're just streaming down. So here we go. Is that we engage in this practice to know ourselves more deeply, to open up space, to free the breath, to free tension, invite in more, maybe calm presence. And, no matter what, life happens. So it's not an end game. This is what I was thinking, it's not an end game. It's not a guarantee of anything other than taking the time to really feel what's happening in your body and to release what needs to be released, to acknowledge what needs to be acknowledged. This is the essence of practice. This is the essence. I mean, I probably said that many times about many different routes that we engage in here, but this is it. So here we are, taking the time to just feel what's happening, to be in our bodies and offer ourselves this literal gift of time. Okay. And, we're going to engage in a supportive practice. So bring your hands together. Let's do this. I'm going to stop talking. You're just going to rub your hands and listen. And slow it down. Start to drop into that very calming mudra. Okay, we're just going to turn the hands. You're going to slide them up the arms. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little rub. Yes. Soften your eyes. And then bring the palms together and change. And just do that again, this squeezing or massaging. Yes. Okay. We'll bring the hands together. Light rub again, just to hear the sounds. Bringing the hands to rest anywhere you want. Feel your breath. And take a nice big breath in. Release that breath through your mouth. We'll inhale to begin. Bow your chin, release your hands to your thighs, lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay, good. So even though we have this nice setup, we're going to start on our backs. If I said sitting, we do stay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, this is
By heart. Okay, so I have a blanket. It's a torso shape, and then if you want to add one for your head, go ahead. Go ahead, add one for your head. And then we'll sit on the floor and just lie over this. And adjust yourself, and then just come to rest. If you want to stretch your legs out, if you've done this little bolster, that might happen. Or bend the knees, separate the feet. And just release into your breath, into your body. Just receiving the support of the floor. That the natural curves of the spine are just happening, starting to release a little bit of our hold as we stand on our 2 feet, or no matter what, even in bed, The mattress might hold you differently. So just release to the hardness of the floor. Feel your shoulders soften. And breathing into wherever you feel the breath being received. That might be low, might be mid belly, might be upper chest, depending on how you have your legs positioned is going to affect the breath. Just expanding that breath gently from the inside. Softening through the sacrum, the outer hips, the glutes. Okay, we're going to bring the hands together and interlace the fingers, split the palms. Maybe you reach up and then take these arms overhead and just feel, make it, a place that you get some length in the side body. And you can have the arms like really active, or it feels better just to have them restful, even bend the elbows. And softening now through the upper back, so creating more space. And then we're all going to bend the knees and move into a windshield wiper here. And just rocking hips and knees and feet side to side a few times. Good. Wow, so nice. Okay, let's do one more on each side. And then plant your feet, knees bent still. Release the interlace of your arms. Maybe sweep the arms out to the sides. And on the way, we're going to bring the right knee in. Just going to catch it. So the left leg can stay bent. It can extend. And just do some gentle rocking here. Just feel your pelvic floor rocking. In the last class, we did a big focus on the tailbone. You might be like, I still don't know where it is. And that's where you're like, oh, enlightened. So whichever one, they're both, I want to use the word right, even though right is not the right word, but they're both, that's the way it goes. Good. Okay, I'm just going to hug this knee in, move the hands down the shin, and just kind of soften into this for a moment or two. Okay, I'm going to straighten the right leg up to the sky. I'm still wearing my socks. And just give this leg a little wake up, acknowledgement. And then we'll bring the hands to interlace behind the back of the thigh. And you might bend your knee, even feel what happens in the hip flexor when you do that. Just bend it a little bit and then press the thigh away. And you might even feel the hips start to kind of balance or engage a little bit. You can straighten the leg, go for that. But again, it's all just part of the practice. And a little flexion in the foot happening. Soften the jaw. And stay in that right leg. It's pretty active. Pressing back, maybe pressing up through the heel. Even draw energy from the heel down. As if you're holding a baby elephant on your foot. Okay, one more full breath in. And as you breathe out, start to bend at the knee. and then point the foot and inhale, straighten. We'll just do that a few times. So really rolling the foot. If you want to let go behind the thigh and just take the arms down, do that. Good. And let's do one more. So we'll extend the leg up. Just stay here, flex the foot. Now turn your foot out. So we're actually rotating the leg. So you turn your toes out, the heel in. Now bend the knee and put that ankle on the left leg, wherever it's going to go. Okay. Let's take the arms out to the side. And we start to move into a windshield wiper here, just rocking this side to side. I'm not going very fast. I want to feel, even the rolling over side to side, everything that comes with this. Good. Okay, let's do one more on each side. We'll take the leg up, and then you decide if you just need to stay here or if you want to bring this in for a thread the needle. And just take a few breaths here. Just opening lower body. Maybe you're pressing this right knee away, your feet are flexed. Notice if your chin is popping up. That is, pull it back down and put something behind your head. Good. Let's take two more breaths here, and I'm just kind of going to let everything soften now. I'm not putting in so much effort. And that's going to bring about new places to pay attention to. Okay, and then we'll release, maybe hug that right knee in, lift your head, give it a little kiss, and let it come down, and then maybe straighten your legs out. I don't have that much room, I'm just putting them up there and take them wide. Or keep them bent, whatever works, to just be in that what just happened place. You can feel the difference in the right side, more vibrant. Left side, maybe a little more dull. Okay, one more full breath in. Breathe out. And then we'll bend the knees, place the feet on the floor. Okay, bring your hands together, opposite interlace the fingers. We're going to take these arms up and then over your head. And once you're here, because we've already done this, the body's like, oh yeah, okay. I'm just going to move into windshield wiper. Maybe you can find a little bit more here. So maybe pressing into that back foot a little bit and letting the hip and the waist and the whatever else move into this. Extending the arms a little more. Breathing a little more in sync with the movements. Good. All right, last sequence. Both sides. And bring your feet up, knees lifted, feet on the floor. We're going to open the arms out to the sides, and this time we're going to catch the left knee. Opposite interlace if you can, adjust your head. And then we'll start to just rock this in and out, and we can let that whole tailbone, pelvic floor move with this. And the right foot is assisting. Yes. Oh, this just came in my head right now. I feel like, we're pumping vitality through the lower pelvis. Pumping vitality. That's a nice thing to do. Good. Okay, and then we're going to come to center. Extend the leg up and take your hands and just give this leg a little hello leg. I see you. And we'll bring the hands behind the thigh again, opposite interlace. Press the thigh into the hands and bending the knee can be super effective. So feel, get the leg straight, definitely changes the load on the hip. And then it's about, once you're here, you're pressing the thigh away, the shoulders are not taking extra tension, even though they're being drawn down. Your jaw is soft. And then you can press through the heel, see what happens. Maybe you can straighten the leg a little more. Even if the leg is bent, you can imagine that the baby elephant is now on your foot and you're going to push him up or her up. And maybe the weight of the elephant is just so much, so you're just supporting it. So maybe you're bringing the energy from the heel down into the hip. And you can play with that because it's two different things that your hip has to do to respond. It's like pressing up and the drawing down, just the energetics. Staying engaged with that left leg as much as you can. Okay, I'm going to release the hands. You can keep them there if you like. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend the knee, take the heel down, point the foot. Inhale, extend. And just simple movements, not complicated. But yet, there's a lot that's happening here that we become aware of. Yes. Okay, we'll do the last one. Keep the leg extended. Flex the foot a little bit. And now turn the toes out, heel in. So you're really turning that thigh out. And then cross ankle over knee. Adjust your right foot to a place that you can move into windshield wiper here. And whenever you're ready, just, again, a simple movement, but noticing, are you taking extra tension into your face, your jaw, your hands? Can you bring your awareness into just this movement? What are your feet doing? How are the hips moving? Is it a nice rocking, like a gentle rowboat, or is it a boom, boom over side to side? Maybe you need to bring the abdominals a little bit more into that. Okay, and then we're just going to do one more. And bring it into center, and then you stay here. You can use your hand on the thigh if you like, or you can move into a thread and needle. And rocking side to side here, and putting a little bit of muscular effort in between the hands and the part of the leg it's connected to. I'm just going to allow this whole package to soften, shoulders soften, jaw, hips. Let it just drop into wherever it's going to go. Just receive and experience, the sensations, what you feel here. Offer it your intention, which is to be free from tension. I don't even know if that's possible, but wouldn't that be great? I guess maybe if we didn't have tension, we'd all just be very loosey-goosey. So we can appreciate, acknowledge tension, release what can be released. And then release your hands, lower the feet to the floor. Okay, so we're still on this blanket here. I'm going to bring the knees into the chest. Just hug them in, rock a little bit side to side. Okay. Okay, I think this is where we're going to go next. Let your feet come back down. Let's lift the hips and take the hands underneath like we've been doing last few classes. And just heel toe the feet maybe a little wider apart. Your shoulders aren't happy here, just adjust. And then we'll come back to our windshield wiper friend. So as you do this, I'll just say that for me is a lot of discomfort on the outer edges of the hips. So if you're feeling that, then I just want you to know you're in good company. Always in good company. Good. Okay, I'm gonna do one more, massaging this area here, and good. And we'll release the hands, take them out to the side for a moment. Good. Okay, well, I feel I want to do one more for the hips. So just bring your feet closer together. They don't have to touch, but closer together. And then you might walk them away a little bit. And as you exhale, we're just going to drop the knees over to the right. And so they're not coming close to the shoulder. Sometimes they're right up. This time they're down low. And the head might turn just comfortably. Okay. Just take a few breaths here. And you might be experiencing some stretching in the outer hip. You might feel nothing here. Maybe you're just like, oh, this is nice. But it might also be an intense-ish type of an experience. So just soften into it. One more breath. Good. And then I'm just going to walk the feet back, take the knees up. And then again, just drop them over to the left. So my feet are stacked, the knees are stacked. That might not be happening for you. You just play with it, but letting the knees be far away from the hip point and really dropping down. And if your head wants to just gently turn, let that happen. Soften what you can soften. The jaw, the shoulders, maybe the left outer hip, the one you're on. The right outer hip might be having this interesting experience. So we're just going to soften our best into that. Just let it happen. Good. Okay. And then we'll roll back onto our backs. Good. Just adjust yourself as you need to. Let's bring the knees in. This time open the knees out wide and just rock the side to side or in and out. Okay, we're going to do lying down twist like habitual. So if you need a support, just throw one over to the right side and start on the right side. Inhale as you are, and then exhale and drop the knees over to the right. And this time I'm going to bring them up a little higher and softening. Okay, notice where you tend to grip, maybe in the hip creases, the low back, the left shoulder side. Okay, and then we'll bring ourselves back onto our back and set up your prop on the left side, readjust yourself. And then I'm going to bring the knees into the chest and drop them over to the left. And then just scanning. How can you be so soft here? And if you can't be, then you just notice those places that are literally holding you back. And you say, okay, I see you. You can even name it. I see you, hip flexor. I see you, low back. Whatever it is. And then here at this place, again, just let go. Okay. Well, then we're just going to roll over to our side. Then you might go over to the left side and gently press yourself upright. And okay. So I'm just going to pull this back just to sit on. And you might fold it over and make it higher if you like. And turn the camera over and just lie back. So here today I put the block underneath the bolster. So we've been doing it lately with the block on top of the bolster for the head. And we're just going to switch it up. And then you're going to come to sit with your sacrum as much as you can. And then we'll sit back. Okay, so you might want to start with your knees bent. That might be a better place. Maybe the forearms can sit on the upper thighs here. Okay. So you're just going to experience, resting against the bolster. And, if you have a longer torso than I do, you might need to put a block on top of the bolster. The puppies are moving. Gosh. So, more breaths, just maybe even pressing yourself into the bolster. Any place there. One more moment here. Okay. I'm just going to take the hands down and extend the legs out to the sides, and they don't have to go super wide. You see what works. You can put blankets underneath your heels, underneath your legs. If you're on carpet, you're probably good. And then you're just going to open. So here, taking the hands back. Oh, we're using a block, so you only have one. So I have the hands back. I'm on the pads of the fingers. I'm just going to open the chest and the back of the heart. Take the head back and just feel whatever's happening. Part of you might come away from the bolster, might be pressed in, and just be here. And with this nice support behind us and the legs extended, that your eyes rest. So maybe they're closed or just gazing without seeing. Let your jaw drop. And then just invite that energy down through the straight tube of you and out through the legs. And we want to feel the legs almost soften into the earth. So I have my feet flexed. You might let that go. You might find that if you have them flexed, you can anchor in more. So be aware. And take one more breath. And we're going to stay exactly as we are. We're just going to take the arms out, and you might trace them against the wall. But if that's too much, find your place, or just take the arms wherever they need to be. Maybe they don't even go up. Maybe only one goes up. And just expand to the tips of your fingers, through the soles of your feet. And at any point you start to, feel like you're losing your connection, just have that bolster there for feedback to lengthen, to press into, to rest into. Okay, release the hands. And I'm going to actually put them on my thighs, but if that's you, put them anywhere. I'm going to press the thighs down, lengthen. So just pushing the thighs down to the floor, softening through the tailbone, length of your spine. Okay, we'll start to fold forward. So your hands might go behind you to help, or come forward and just start, don't worry about the bolster. Just going to walk yourself forward wherever you go. Oh, my bolster just fell on my back, but that, I'm going to be happy about that. Good. Okay, so wherever you are, friend, you can take the chin back, almost like you're pressing the back of the head into the bolster, and I'm just gently rocking side to side, and maybe your hip flexors are starting to talk to you. Just wag your feet or bend your knees and wiggle yourself back in. And just inviting yourself to descend into yourself. You might be on your forearms, you might be still on your hands. This idea of lengthening. So here I don't know if you can see it, I'm rolling myself forward and back, like over the sit bones and back. And if I want to come forward, I've got to get it's almost like the tailbone goes back, inner thighs become more grounded. That might not happen today. So you're just in your own experience. Softening for 5 more breaths. So be in a place of enjoyment for these next 5 breaths. The idea of softening. Maybe it's the idea of surrendering. Slowly come back up and let it to adjust your bolster. And once you're upright, if you want to fold your legs in, go ahead and cross-legged or straight out or whatever feels like a bit of a release. Maybe the hands come back to the thighs. I'm just going to pushing down and forward. My heels of my hands are in the center of the thighs. And I'm pushing down and forward. And then once you've got that, then just being with the awareness of the back body resting. Maybe the shoulders can move back, jaw can drop, eyes can rest. Okay. One more full breath in. And a full breath out. Okay, so I'm going to come to twist. No, I'm not going to work with the bolster. I'm going to come off the bolster. So take the bolster out, walk out. And then we'll just go to cross-legged twist. So I'm just moving myself forward here. And if you need to sit up higher, do that. Okay. And sit in a way that feels good. If you need a block, I'm going to start twisting to the left. You can have a block at the left side. And as you exhale, just move into this twist. Okay, so we're going to hang out here for about 10 breaths. Feel free to move if that feels good. And maybe it's this idea of being very aware of the back body. Turning on its turning around. Let's say the spinal cord is the center and we're just twisting around that. Notice for yourself if one hip is lifting, we need to do a little shifting. And staying in the twist, but just inviting in the descent, the heaviness into the legs, into the pelvis. Stay as you are, friend. Don't untwist. Just turn your head now and look over the right shoulder. And then stay here. And really just come to just sit for a moment. Be in the unwinding. I'm going to change the cross of the legs for the second side. Do whatever works. And just find your uprightness as much as you can so that you're almost like maybe the bolster's still there. And dropping the tailbone. And turning to the right. Adjust your props as you need to. Maybe you want to move and just kind of bring yourself in. And then finding a way to settle. And whatever's happening today. You feel like you're leaning, and you bring it as upright as you can today. Notice if your heart is caving in, can you lift the heart? And also being with the constriction of the breath. Staying here, just turning the head now. This becomes more important as our fancy new cars don't require any shoulder checking anymore. So this is an important skill. Okay, and we'll release, and again, just sit and be. Okay, so I'm going to take us onto hands and knees, and we're just going to do a little cat-cow flow to kind of get things going. So you are in a nice, very gentle, connected, soft way. So I'm just going to take this blanket, I'm going to turn it. And then just moving in. So if you need more support through your knees, bring it in. We'll tuck the toes under just to open the feet. This is what it's going to look like. So I'm going to inhale into cat and let that bring me back. Then the forearms come down. Just going to come on through and then back up. So there's the cow. So it's a tucking, tailbone in the head, and then sliding yourself back. So the forearms come down, and you come forward, and at some place you press into the hands, come up, and lift your chin to look up. And you can have the tops of the feet down if you prefer that. Eventually it's going to become like just a little bit of a dance. You don't need to think so much about it. So make this your own, and this isn't appropriate for you today. You can modify to whatever you need. Okay. I'm just going to feel all these parts, finding this, I'm going to say sacred dance. Okay. In reverse, we'll just find a way to move in opposite to what we were doing. Everything's kind of working here. That breath, the belly, the hips, maybe the feet. Maybe the feet. Yes, the feet. And the shoulders, wrists, everything. Good. Okay. So we're going to end this off coming onto your, when you get to your hands and knees, your cat pose. We're going to really tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, and almost like press your hips forward. Press your shoulders back. Take that belly up. So the hands are pressing down. And then release the belly down, lift the hips, lift your chin, take the shoulders away. Let the jaw drop. Oh, I'm going to add a little face lift here. So take your bottom jaw or bottom and lift it up and over the top lip. Okay, and then just move into regular old cat-cow a few times. Good. Okay, I'm going to go into barrel rolls next, like rolling the barrel of the body. If you need a little wrist break, take it. And then come on back and find a little wider stance. We'll drop the belly down, roll it over, and up and around. The hips move, the shoulders move, the head moves. Belly's moving. Yes. Good. And then reverse. Okay, next one. And then maybe it's cat-cow. Full time. Good. Okay, we'll take this into child's pose. And you have your bolster right there if you want to throw that in for support. Just those kind of stuff. And then we'll bring ourselves down. Maybe a chin tucks. You turn your head. Just find your place here to release. And then have the arms straight out and head resting on the floor. We're in this place of just softening and releasing. The knees might be wide, and some of you might want to have the knees together. So it's all good. Be in a place where you can sink in. There's a place where you can start to breathe into the lower abdominals. Roll back. Maybe even the sides of your hips. Feel them breathing. And before we come out, just ask yourself, where can I surrender a little more deeply? Okay. We're going to come out of this. I'm just going to roll over the toes and come back to sitting. We're going to sit in a wide-legged like we did a moment ago. I'm just going to actually turn myself so I'm facing you and take something to sit on. And if you need support for under your knees, you can put that in. Ooh, here we are. Okay. Good. And placing your hands behind you or beside you, anywhere. And breathing here, and just imagine maybe you still have that bolster behind you, something supporting you. Okay, we're going to take twist here. If you need to fold a leg in, just do it. We're going to turn towards the right. And when we turn here, we do get like, you might feel a lot through the left side. So bend it in if you need to. And then I'm just going to take the heart back, the head back. Find some length here, lengthening through the legs, softening through the face. And seeing, is there room to maybe turn? Good. Take one more breath. Maybe it's a lengthening and a softening. Okay, walk ourselves over this right leg, keeping the chest in line with the right leg. If you notice the left hip is lifting, You can put it back down, or that's indication you might want to fold in. Let me see. Okay, and then just be wherever you go here. It's where you go. Okay, I'm going to take the left hand over. That's just going to add more stretch if that is there. We haven't done a lot to really lengthen the legs. So just receive whatever you're experiencing here. How can you soften into it? And that might mean backing out a little bit. Notice if you're taking any extra tension in the shoulders, the jaw, the eyes, even the hips. Good. Okay, I'm not going to come back upright. I'm just going to walk the hands into center and maybe take them out a little bit, and we'll do a little bit of this swaying release. And I'm drawing the shoulders in and down as the opposite shoulder comes in and down. Okay. Good. And then from the center place, now walk yourself upright. If you need to rest your legs, bring them in, take a moment. Okay, and then we're just going to twist over to the left and just walk the hands over, turn the chest, be in wherever this is for you. Feel yourself also, supported behind you. Don't lose that connection with the back body. Sometimes if you take your hand to your heart and you just take it back a little bit, like, oh yeah, I feel that. Oh, my ancestors are there supporting you. Good. Okay, and then as you're ready, being mindful of this right leg and what it needs, walk yourself in. And wherever you go here, just going to melt in. If the right arm comes across, that's going to add more experiential, sensory application. It's receiving all of your body intelligent awareness, listening. Gently releasing and walking yourself back into center. Okay, and again, I'm just going to do that waving. So maybe like 30% of what I could potentially do in this pose. Just rocking it. Okay, so I'm going to bring ourselves forward again. Take the hands to the thighs and just push down, lengthen as you push down. So lifting. Maybe the arms come up, but if this is too much for your back, everything has to be protected. And then walk yourself in wherever you go. Oh, amazing. Good. You can always move in the pose once you get there. Pretty close to the floor. I'm going to throw a block in under my head. Just allowing this, deep stretch in the legs to be received. Just dropping into it as best as you can. So we're here for about another maybe 3-5 breaths. Letting yourself go a little deeper. Maybe as you sigh and release something, heart can drop a little bit more.
And if you're just like, oh, I'm just getting it, maybe you stay longer. You come up, and we're just going to bring the soles of the feet together. Just, you might want to massage here, you know, if your legs, wherever they are, just take a moment and a lot of inner thigh. Just good stuff. Work on, okay, I'm going to take one more forward fold in Baddha Konasana. Throw your props in if you need to. Maybe you take a block if you know your forehead is going to reach it, or a second block. No blocks, all fine. Okay, so I'm just going to be here. I'm going to reach the arms up again, just get some length. I'm squeezing the feet into the block here, but wherever you are is all good. And then invite yourself in here. Build your house if you, it's just a nice way. You know, we're going to Shavasana next. So it's going to release the hip creases, let the forehead rest. So starts to stimulate this idea of resting, melatonin production, softening of your stress. So, you know, I have my head on the block and I'm massaging my forehead, just rocking the head side to side. Forehead above the eyebrows, between the eyebrows, all these places. Settling in for your final few breaths here. When you're ready, friend, gently take yourself out and set up for Shavasana. You might just lie flat out. Maybe a sideline Shavasana might be helpful today for someone. So I take the blanket just to soften everything. You know, the bolster can go between the knees. It can also go like you give it a little hug on your side, and this can be quite nice. You might want something for your head too. So, well, now I'm in it, so I'm like, oh, this feels so good. I'm just gonna pop on the other side. On my non-dominant side. Okay. Legs up the wall, your favorite restorative posture, all of it. Very good. I just want to be in a place where we can deeply surrender, practice this idea of doing nothing. It was so hard for so many people to do nothing. And maybe if you even reflect on like your first Shavasana, what's going on? I used to leap. I can't, but I did that. Had no idea what was happening. So busy. So busy. So just celebrate this time of, I'm going to keep that bolster there and just put a blanket here. Rest that other arm here. And just, oh. Okay, good night, everybody. Take a savoring this time. Releasing yourself a little more deeply. Staying as you are. You start to come out and just really take your time. When you do come up to sitting, just savoring this feeling of connection, savoring this experience of today's practice. Lengthening tall as you inhale and releasing as you exhale. Bringing the hands to the heart any way that feels good. Seal this practice with one Om. Inhale. Om. And breathe into your hands. Take a moment to offer yourself what you need, or what you think you want to give to others. You can put that there too, and you offer that to yourself and then send it out into the world. And so much love and honoring. Thank you. Fourth, yogis. Spread love and joy and kindness everywhere you go. See you guys. Thank you for being here.